Summer dust hangs over the yard, Aunt Polly's voice cutting through the vines. Tom, Tom Sawyer, where are you hiding? The garden waits still as a held breath. She checks under beds, behind doors. Tomato plants whisper in the heat. A rustle, she grabs a jacket mid-run. There you are, what were you doing? Nothing, he says, jam shining on his hands and grin. Hand me that switch, but Tom's eyes spark with a trick. My Aunt Polly, look behind you. She turns, he's already gone over the fence, laughing in the sun. Oh, Tom Sawyer, wild little river went, bare feet drumming down dusty roads. Trouble clings to him like shadows at noon, but he outruns every story he sows. Aunt Polly loves him more than she scolds. A boy too bright for rules to hold. Tom Sawyer, mischief in motion, always slipping out of her control. At supper she tests him gently. Warm in school today? Yes, sir. Didn't you want to go swimming? Tom swallows fear like a pebble. We poured water on our heads, he says, showing the collar still buttoned tight. For a moment he wins, until Sid's quiet voice cuts through. Aunt Polly, didn't you sew that with white thread? It's black. Tom escapes the room with a shout. Sid, I'll get you for that. Evening sun stretches long across the lane. Tom whistles a tune he learned today, but stops when he sees this stranger. Clean clothes, shiny cap, shoes on a Friday. Jealous sparks fly. I can beat you up. I like to see you try. Can. The dust holds its breath. Tom draws a line with his toe. Step over and I'll thrash you. The boy steps, challenge accepted. Dust rises, fists swing. Two boys rolling in the fading light. Tom hands on top, say enough. Through tears, enough. Tom walks away proud until a stone hits his back. He chases the boy home, only for the mother to shout, go away, you rude child. Tom leaves burning with fury and victory. Oh, Tom Sawyer, wild little river wind, whistling courage through the twilight gold. He bends the world like a coin in his fingers, turns fear into stories bold. Aunt Polly worries, Sid disapproves, but Tom just goes where his heart is pulled. Tom Sawyer, restless, reckless, a summer fire never controlled. Night settles over Missouri, purple skies cooling the dust. Tom climbs the window quietly, but Aunt Polly waits, heartbreak in her eyes. His torn clothes tell everything. Tomorrow he'll work the whole day long, but he's already dreaming mischief again. Tom Sawyer, running through the summer night, Aunt Polly praying he'll grow up right. He's chaos, laughter, light on the run, a trouble-born child of the sun. No fence too tall, no rule too tight. Tom Sawyer keeps chasing the fading light. And somewhere in the moonlit breeze, he's still whistling that new tune. A boy forever just beyond reach. Saturday rises golden, sweet on the breeze. Birdsong rings above the blooming locust trees. Cardiff Hill glows green and dreamy, a calling place for any boy except Tom, who stands with a bucket of whitewash, staring at a fence tall as despair. "30 yards long, 9 feet high, the fence stretches like a prison wall." He sighs, dips the brush, paints once, the white barely shows. He looks at all that's left and sits down heavy as a stone in summer dust. Then Jim walks by, pale swinging, singing Buffalo Gals through the gate. Tom's eyes spark. "Say, Jim, I'll fetch the water if you do some whitewash." Jim says, "Can't Mars, Tom, Miss Polly said you'd try. She said no whitewashing from me." "Oh, she just talks, give me the bucket, I won't be long." Jim hesitates, "She'll punish me." "I'll give you a marble, a white one, and I'll show you my sore toe." Jim cracks under temptation, leans in to look. Aunt Polly appears like thunder. Jim bolts with his bucket, and Tom sinks back into gloom. Oh, Tom Sawyer, staring at a shining wall, the whole world laughing on the other side. He holds a brush heavy as a chain, while summer calls him far and wide. But a spark glints bright behind his grin, trouble learning how to twist the world again. Oh, Tom Sawyer, staring at a shining wall, the whole world laughing on the other side. He holds a brush heavy as a chain, while summer calls him far and wide. But a spark glints bright behind his grin, trouble learning how to twist the world again. Tom Sawyer, clever as sin, turns pain into play with a stroke of the pen. Other boys will come soon and they'll tease him for sure. Tom checks his treasure pile, a few marbles, a toy soldier, not enough to buy freedom. Then an idea hits, bright as a sunbeam. Picks up the brush, whistles lightly, paints slow, calm, careful, like it's the greatest art on earth. Right then Ben Rogers appears, puffing like a steamboat, eating an apple, happy as can be. "Hey Tom, you gotta work, huh?" Tom glances over coolly, "Oh, it's you, Ben didn't notice, I'm going swimming. Don't you wish you could, but I guess work is more fun for you." Tom shrugs, "What do you call work?" Ben points, "That maybe it is, maybe it ain't. All I know is I like it, you like it." Tom keeps painting slow and proud. A boy doesn't get to whitewash a fence every day. Ben stops chewing, he watches the brush glide. Tom steps back, admiring his masterpiece. Ben leans in closer, "Hey Tom, let me try." Tom frowns thoughtfully, "No, Aunt Polly's particularly. Only certain boys can do it right." "Oh, come on, just once. I'd let you if it was mine." Tom hesitates, "I'm afraid something might happen to the fence." "I'll be careful, I'll give you my apple core." Tom sighs, "No, I can't." Ben bursts out, "I'll give you the whole apple." Tom hands over the brush with tragic reluctance, but joy bursts inside him like fireworks. Oh, Tom Sawyer, with a genius grin, lounging in the shade while the world falls in. Make a task look rare enough, and every boy will beg to try. Sun beating down on Ben's sweaty back, while Tom eats the apple he won with a lie. Tom Sawyer, Fox heart slide. turns a fence into gold with a sparkle in his eye. Oh, come on, just once, I'd let you if it was mine. Tom hesitates, I'm afraid something might happen to the fence. I'll be careful, I'll give you my apple core. Tom sighs, no, I can't. Ben bursts out, I'll give you the whole apple. Tom hands over the brush with tragic reluctance, but joy burst inside him like fireworks. Oh, oh, Tom Sawyer, giving me off the note. I visit Harlem, man, when you can chase it too. In a sweet Missouri evening, calm maze against his breathic face. Pink and navy work isn't so day, as long as someone else is too late.
Afternoon sunlight drips through the house. Bees hum low, flowers breathe sweet. Aunt Polly dozes by the window, gray hair shining where glasses sleep. The old cat purrs on her lap, the whole room soft as a summer dream, until Tom slips in like a breeze.
And can I go play now, he whispers. She startles, what already, how much is done?
It's all done, Aunt.
Tom, don't lie, I can't stand it. But outside the fence glows bright and perfect, 30 yards of snowy white. Aunt Polly gasps,
Why you can't work when you wanna, but you seldom wanna?
she laughs and leads him to the closet, hands him a shiny red apple, gives a soft little speech about honesty, while Tom sneaks a donut behind her back. Oh, Tom Sawyer, quick hands and quicker grin, walking that line between trouble and charm. Aunt Polly means well, but he's always dancing, apple in his pocket, mischief in his arms. The world forgives him more than she should, but boys like Tom are made of lightning and wood. Wild sparks, gentle hearts, stirring up storms just for fun.
Tom bursts outside, spots sit on the stairs. He grabs a fistful of dirt clods.
Whack, whack, whack.
A storm on Sid's back. Before Aunt Polly reaches the door, Tom vaults the fence,
Never uses the gate,
and runs free just as served in his mind. Around the block, through a muddy alley, he reaches the village square where two armies wait. Tom is a general, Joe Harper the rival king. No leaders fight, they command. Boys fall dead, prisoners traded, and Tom's army wins beneath the cheering sun. On his way home, he passes Jeff Thatcher's place, and there she is. Yellow braids, blue bright eyes, white summer dress glowing like morning cloud. Tom forgets Amy Lawrence in an instant. His heart flips like a loose coin in his chest. She notices him watching, so he pretends he isn't. Starts doing handstands, flips, balancing tricks just to impress. The girl turns to go inside, but pauses on the step. She drops a little flower over the fence. Tom's breath stops, he strolls over casual, picks a straw off the ground, balances it on his nose, creeps closer step by step, then scoops the flower with his toes, hops away with it triumphantly, tucks it against his heart. He lingers until nightfall, hoping she'll look from the window, but she doesn't return. Oh, Tom Sawyer, fool for a golden braid, heart leaping faster than his reckless feet. A single flower becomes a promise, pressed close where dreams and heartbeat meet. He's bold with boys, fierce in a fight, but helpless under a girl's soft light. Tom Sawyer tangled up again in a kind of trouble he can't beat. supper, he's glowing, humming inside. Aunt Polly scolds him for hitting Sid, but he barely hears it. He reaches for sugar, crack! She wraps his knuckles. Aunt, you don't whack Sid when he takes sugar. Sid doesn't torment me all day long. She snaps, if I didn't watch you, you'd eat the whole bowl. She steps into the kitchen. Sid reaches quietly for the sugar. The bowl slips, shatter! Tom freezes, triumphant at last. Sid's caught, Aunt Polly storms back furious, and Tom waits for justice, but she immediately scolds. Tom, what are you hitting me for? Sid broke it. Aunt Polly pauses, torn. Well, you didn't get a lick you didn't deserve. You've surely been up to mischief anyway. Tom goes silent, hurt blooming deep inside. He emerges as self-dying. Aunt Polly crying, older him, regret at every scolding and strike. The Thomas swells in his chest, a long way widow stormed. Had many lives under the new girl's window, clutching the flower, overture farm and said, and God will in the door. Until a knee blacks a basin of water lowers hard. Soapy ran time for a moonlit void, too heartbroken to pray, slarding cliently in the bed. Oh, Tom Sawyer wandered between Jordan and the boy that you forged some light and dream. As long goes square with lights, no night sky, and the stroke composing the morning scene. Paris sign, sick in sport, the tongue came trace and still good more. Time Sawyer, the restless and timble, oh, and upward cannot to be seen. And in the gut, before it dries on his dress, the tidy I go of the girl he gave for bed. He came for dinner.
The sun rises soft over the quiet village. Church bells echo in the warm blue air. Aunt Polly's voice leads the breakfast prayer. Mosaic law read stern and long, while Tom Sawyer drifts in daydreams. Sundays never felt so slow.
5 Bible verses sit like stones in his mind. Sid learned his days ago, Tom can barely start. Blessed are the
Poor Mary says, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is
the kingdom of heaven, she reminds.
Tom groans, Mary, why don't you just tell me? Oh, Tom, I'm helping try again, and I'll give you something nice. What is it? He asks. You'll see.
Under promise of reward, Tom forces the words into his stubborn memory. When he's finally done, Mary hands him a new Barlow knife. It barely cuts, but Tom beams like sunrise.
Oh, Mary sets out water. Tom pours it on the ground, wipes his face on the towel, caught instantly. Back out there, Tom, she scrubs him clean, shines his shoes and dresses him neat as Sunday silver. Though Tom hates the feeling, soon he's sitting Mary walk to Sunday school. Tom dragging his feet, wishing he were anywhere else. Oh, Tom Sawyer, in a stiff white collar, trying hard not to squirm in the pew. The world outside is calling his name, but he's trapped in a place where good boys do what good boys should, though he never quite can. Tom Sawyer, restless heart, living in a world too slow for him. At the door he whispers, Billy got a yellow ticket.
Yeah, what do you take for it?
Licorice and a fish hook, deal struck. Trades follow marbles, charms, tiny treasures by the time he enters the pews. He has enough yellow tickets to claim a Bible worth 2,000 verses. Tom sits with the roadiest boy An old man, a dignified lady, and the girl. Tom's heart leaps out of his chest. He straightens, shows off, nudges the boys, makes ridiculous faces, trying to catch her eye. Judge Thatcher takes a seat with importance. The superintendent beams, hoping for something impressive to show. And Tom stands up, holding his pile of tickets. Judge Thatcher bends toward and gives poured him gently. Well, my boy, your name? Tom Sawyer, sir. A fine young man. Tell me this, who were the first two disciples? Tom freezes. Silence grows thick as Sunday heat. He blurts, David and Goliath. A gasp rolls across the room. The superintendent winces. The boys hide laughter. Amy sighs. The golden-haired girl tilts her head. Judge Thatcher pats Tom softly, a mercy more painful than anger. The moment passes, Sunday school lurches onward, and Tom sinks into the pew, burning at the street I'm burning with. Somewhere in the backwater, but no within a breach lies a living Tom slaughterless enough to detain and mute. Your baby, and as he bay, a Tom Sawyer crunch Sunday. Half past 10, the cracked church bell rings, drifting over the quiet Missouri streets. Families gather under the warm Sunday sun, shuffling toward the small wooden pews. And Tom Sawyer trudges beside Aunt Polly, trying hard not to sigh aloud. Tom's placed far from the window, nowhere near the breeze or birds. He watches townsfolk glide down the aisle, the postmaster in his warm black coat, the mayor and his wife proud and stiff, Widow Douglas shining like gentle summer, Major Ward, Lawyer Iverson, the bail surrounded by boys with polished canes, and then Willie Mufferson, model boy, perfect posture, perfect manners, loved by all mothers, loathed by every boy. Tom slumps deeper in the pew. Oh, Sunday morning moving slow as syrup. Tom Sawyer sinking in a sea of sighs. The hymns rise high, the prayers fall heavy, but his wild heart drifts toward bluer skies. He's counting pages, chasing flies, dreaming of freedom beyond the aisle. Tom Sawyer, restless soul made for mischief, not for solemn smiles. The minister lifts his voice like a storm. Shall I be carried to the skies on flowery beds of ease? Tom mouths the words silently, finding no meaning, only melody. Notices follow, endless lists, meeting societies, good intentions. Then the prayer, a long rolling river of petitions for the church, the state, the nation, the sailors at sea, the oppressed far away, even the heathen in distant lands. Tom counts each mention eyes drifting toward a buzzing fly. It lands temptingly close. He dares not move until amen. He snaps it up, and Polly elbows him. The fly escapes. Tom Sawyer's. The sermon starts thick as mud. Tom counts the pages 1, 2, 20. He perks up only once when the minister speaks of lions and lambs and a child leading them in peace. Tom grins, imagining himself the hero. Yeah. The lion is gentle, but boredom returns quickly. Tom slides a pinch bug from his pocket, little black beetle with a wicked bite. It snaps at his finger. Ow, he whispers, and flicks it into the aisle. The beetle becomes the star of the church. Adults try not to look, but every eye drifts down. A poodle spots it, sniffs, paws, noses, dances, and sits right on the beetle. The yelp explodes like a firecracker. The dog rockets in circles, howling up and down the aisle. Tail burning with invisible fire. Stifled laughter shakes the pews. Tom's included. Oh, Sunday morning turns to bright commotion. Every heart in the room awake at last. Even the minister trips on his sermon, trying hard to keep the moment past. But Tom's grin spreads wide as the river bend. Church is never dull when chaos laughs. Tom Sawyer, spark of joy in a world that moves too slow and fast. When the service ends, relief flows out. Tom walks home cheerful, swinging his arms. Church isn't so bad, he thinks. When something exciting happens, he only wishes the dog hadn't run off with his beetle. Monday dawns gray in Tom Sawyer's heart, though the summer sun shines bright outside. School waits like a prison door, and Tom lies in bed trying hard to die, or at least looks sick enough to stay home. He checks himself for fevers, aches, searches for pain he doesn't feel, then remembers his loose front tooth. Lucky, he whispers until he recalls Aunt Polly would yank it out no good. His eyes drift to his sore toe. He groans, faint and dramatic. Sid sleeps on, he groans louder, still nothing. He groans louder yet until Sid bolts upright. Tom, what's wrong, Tom? Oh, don't shake me, Sid, it hurts. I'm calling Aunt Polly. No, don't, maybe I'll get better soon, but you sound awful, Tom. Are you dying? Tom whispers bravely, I forgive you everything, Sid. Tell the new girl, give her my cat. Sid panics, races downstairs. Aunt Polly, Tom's dying. Aunt Polly rushes up, pale as paper. Tom, what's wrong? Oh, Auntie, my sore toe's mortified. She sits, laughs, cries, laughs again. Tom Sawyer, you scared me half to death. Now get out of bed. The pain magically disappears. Tom blushes, Annie, my tooth aches too. Oh, does it? She says sharply, open your mouth. Thread to the tooth, other end to the bedpost. Hot coal near his face. Pop, out it comes. Tragedy in charm and childhood fire, burning bright with every rule he bends. Tom Sawyer, restless soul, never stays down for long again. On the road he spots Huck Finn, bare feet, ragged hat, a dead cat dangling from his hand. Hello, Huckleberry. Hello yourself. What you got there? A dead cat. What's it good for? Curing warts. Tom smirks. No, I know something better. I bet you don't. Spunk water. Tom declares, explains the midnight ritual, the magic words, the graveyard charm. Huck listens wide-eyed, they agree. Tonight after dark, graveyard, dead cat, wart cure, adventure born in whispered plans. Tom reaches school feeling 10 feet tall until the teacher calls. Why are you late? He glances at Becky Thatcher, heart flips and blurts, I was talking to Huck Finn. Aghast, the teacher grabs Tom by the ear, marches him to sit with the girls, but Tom beams, he gets to sit next to Becky. They share a peach, giggle behind their slates. She watches him draw a little house, a crooked man. Teach me, she whispers. Tom writes on his slate, I love you. Becky blushes, pretends to pout, but her eyes sparkle in just then. The teacher snatches Tom away, drops him back in the boys' row, yet Tom doesn't care. His heart beats like a drum. Oh, Tom Sawyer, falling fast. Becky Thatcher, shining like spring. He can't read, can't write, can't think straight, lost in the magic that new love brings. Trouble in class, trouble at home, but joy buzzing wild beneath his skin. Tom Sawyer, wide awake, with a whole new world to tumble in. Monday morning isn't so bad now, not with Becky's smile in his memory. School may still feel like a cage, but today he doesn't mind the bars. A hot noon hangs over the schoolhouse, air thick as honey, buzzing like bees. Tom Sawyer slumps over his open book, dreaming a Cardiff hill shimmering in heat.
Birds drifting lazy, cows asleep in the fields, and freedom just outside the window.
He sighs, reaches deep into his pocket, pulls out a little box. His treasure tick crawls out onto the desk, alive, stubborn, perfect. Joe Harper sees it, eyes lighting up, takes out his own pen.
Tom draws a line on Joe's slate. As long as he's on your side, you play. When he's on mine, you leave him be.
Alright, Joe says, start him up.
The tick dances across the line, back and forth like a tiny circus. They lean close, completely absorbed.
Then Tom cheats, nudging the tick with his pen.
Tom, leave him alone.
I just wanna stir him up.
No, it's not fair. Whose tick is it anyway?
I don't care, he's on my side.
A heavy hand falls on both boys' shoulders. The teacher, silent as a storm, one sharp whack each, and laughter ripples across the room. Oh, Tom Sawyer, trouble at every turn, making gains from nothing at all. In the heat of a long school morning, he'll risk a beating for a moment's fun. A restless spark, a summer boy, a heart too wild for chalk and walls. Tom Sawyer, born to dream, never meant to sit still at all.
When noon comes, he whispers, Becky, put on your bonnet, act like you're going home. At the corner, slip back, use the lane, I'll do the same. Two separate crowds, two disappearing children.
Soon the schoolyard belongs to them alone.
They sit together with a slate, Tom guiding Becky's hand, drawing a crooked house. A little man with a hat, talk drifts like sunlight.
Do you love rats?
No, I hate them.
I do too. Live ones, dead ones are fun to swing.
Tom, I like chewing gum.
Oh, I wish I had some.
I have some. Becky smiles.
You can chew it, just give it back. They share it, giggling like a secret too sweet for words.
Ever been to a circus, Tom asks?
Yes.
Papa will take me again. I've been lots of times. I wanna be a clown. They're funny and make lots of money.
Tom hesitates.
Becky, ever been engaged?
What's that?
It means you promise to marry someone.
No, would you like to?
I guess so.
You just say you'll love only him, then you kiss.
Kiss?
Why?
That's just what people do.
Tom leans close. Do you remember what I wrote on the slate?
Yes, what was it?
I won't tell.
Shall I tell you?
Yes, but not now.
No, now.
She hesitates, he whispers.
I love you.
Turn your face away, she says shyly. He turns.
She whispers, I love you.
Tom chases her between the desks, catches her gently and she lets him kiss her.
Now we won't ever love anyone else, right?
Right, Becky says, blushing, glowing.
Oh, Tom Sawyer, heart racing wild, first love shining like morning dew.
The empty schoolyard becomes their kingdom. Two small dreamers making big vows true.
A kiss, a promise, a trembling smile,
A world made bright and thrilling new. Tom Sawyer falling fast and Becky feeling it too.
Then Tom mentions Amy Lawrence, just a slip, a careless truth. Becky's face crumples.
Oh, Tom,
I'm not the fist. He tries to explain, but she pushes and moves.
hack meets hen,
Perhaps trying to kind.
Tom Martel. Oh, then she'll follow, she peasant. Then she fired the coals as night. In the schoolyard, they serve the doorways, curbs out fade. The time has gone. The children might tune and Birkin must hollow bear sadness. See to the last name as the hearts you hand it for the let our chest throw. A kiss, a promise, a trembling smile, a world made bright and thrilling new. Tom Sawyer falling fast and Becky feeling it too.
Still hounds outside and went home.
But inside, two young parrots.
Loud night first lesson in lyre, high spirited studs, hair, cetera, and eggs. Slips away from the schoolyard crowd, down dusty lanes and over creek water, crossing and recrossing the stream like a runaway scout, trying to lose the world behind him. By the time the sun climbs high, he's deep behind the Douglas mansion, alone with the heat and the humming silence. Under a great oak on Carterville, the air's so still even birds won't sing. Tom Sawyer sits with a heavy heart, counting all the troubles of being a boy. He even envies Jimmy Hodges, sleeping forever must be easy. He thinks no school, no scolding, no heartbreak at all. But sadness shifts like a summer cloud. What if he vanished? What would Sawyer, dreaming big under summer skies, trading sorrow for a world of wild skies. A soldier, an Indian chief, too tame for his fire. He starts to see himself as a bold young pirate with a black ship sailing through the foam and spray, returning one day in glory, making the village say, there goes Tom Sawyer, fearless and free, the pirate king of the great blue sea. He jumps up, ready to run from ordinary life, digs under a rotten log with his dull penknife, whispering magic words for hidden treasure. He finds only a marble, one he once lost, which broke the charm, he mutters, to prove it true. Tom hunts a doodle bug, finds a funnel hole in the sand and calls, doodle bug, tell me what I wanna know. A tiny black bug pops up, then vanishes. Proof enough for Tom, witchcraft plain as day. So he throws another marble, tracing its arc across the dust, and finds both old and new, as if fate was playing along. In the wind, a trumpet cry. Tom grabs his wooden sword, his crooked bow, his last arrow and tin trumpet, and runs like a hero summoned to war. Joe Harper appears through the brush, dressed the same, armed the same, grinning like a summer scamp. Tom shouts, who comes into Sherwood Forest without my pass? Joe answers, I am Guy of Gisborne, I need no pass. Who are you? Tom stands tall, I am Robin Hood, the famous outlaw. Wooden swords clash, echoing through the quiet wood, boys fighting like legends they've memorized. Tom orders Joe, you fall now, that's how the story goes. Joe argues, then obeys, because books outrank pride, then they swap. Joe becomes Robin Hood, Tom the sheriff of Nottingham, and the battle begins anew. Oh, Tom Sawyer and Joe in the summer green, living out stories bigger than anything seen. Kings of Sherwood, knights of make-believe, swinging wooden blades with hearts on their sleeve. They do, they fall, they rise again, acting out the tales of noble men. Two boys chasing glory where the wild vines grow, in a world only children know. Tom, Robin Hood again, falls wounded, lying dramatically in the grass. Joe holds his bow for him, where the sorrow lands, there Robin Hood shall be buried. Tom shoots, but leaps up yowling, I landed on a nettle, laughter bursts through the leaves. Weapons tucked beneath their arms, the boys leave Sherwood sad and slow. No real outlaws anymore, no forest full of danger and fame. Better than being president, Tom sighs, Joe nods. And together they wander down the summer road, still dreaming of pirates, heroes, and forgotten times. Two boys in a sleepy village, warming the world with their wild, impossible dreams.
.9, the house grows still, Sid asleep and Polly snoring down the hall. Tom Sawyer lies awake in the dark, restless as the summer wind, waiting for the clock to set him free. Every tiny sound grows loud, the ticking clock, the creaking beams, a cricket singing somewhere he can't find. A faint scratch in the wall, Tom shivers, death watch beetles, someone's doomed. A dog howls far away under answer across the hills. Tom's courage melts like candle wax, then sleep takes him for a moment, until a neighbor's shout, a bottle shattering, snaps him awake. He dresses fast, climbs out the window, crawls along the roof, jumps down into the moon glow where Huck Finn waits, dead cat in hand like a charm. Two boys slip into the night, heading for the old graveyard. Shadow grass, Huck Finn beside him with a brave boy's fear. Banjo moon shining on forgotten stones, and the whole wide world feels sharp and clear. Two friends chasing magic in the midnight air, hearts pounding fast, but they still push on. Tom Sawyer, restless spirited, drawn to danger like a moth till dawn. The graveyard stands on a lonely hill, fence broken, weeds tall as their knees, sunken graves, rotting headboards, a place meant for ghosts, not boys. They whisper through the dark, do you think the dead like us here? Tom asks. Huck answers, trembling, I wish I knew. It's awful scary, ain't it? They hide behind 3 old elms near a fresh mound of earth, and now hoots from the black sky. Think Otis Williams can hear us? Tom whispers. Course he can, his spear anyway, Huck replies. Tom goes, should we call him Mr. Williams instead? Before Huck can answer, Tom grabs Huck's arm. Shh, did you hear that? A faint murmur, a dim light, footsteps in the grass. It's the devil's Tom, we're doomed, Huck breathes. Tom peers closer, no, they're humans. One of them's Muff Potter. 3 shapes approach, Muff Potter stumbling, Injun Joe silent as iron, Dr. Robinson holding a lantern, tools glinting like teeth in the moon. They dig, shovels thud, the boys can't look away. The coffin breaks the surface, the body lifted out, the doctor urging them to hurry, then trouble sparks. Muff demands more money, the doctor snaps, he's paid enough. Injun Joe steps forward, voice like gravel, reminding the doctor of an old insult. The doctor strikes him, knocks him flat. Potter grabs the doctor, grappling. Injun Joe rises, sees Potter's knife on the ground, grabs it and in one swift motion drives it into the doctor's chest. Dr. Robinson falls, dead before he hits the dirt. Potter collapses beneath him, the boys flee, hearts bursting, legs burning, racing through the night as fast as fear can carry them. Oh, Tom Sawyer running through the haunted grass, Huck Finn beside him, eyes wide and wild. The moon sees all but speaks no truth. Two trembling souls no longer thinking like a child. They saw the shadows twist, saw a good man fall, saw a wicked knife in a wicked hand. Tom Sawyer, breathless witness, carrying a secret too heavy for the light. Back back at the grave, Injun Joe crouches calm, places the bloody knife in Potter's hand. Potter stirs confused. Did I kill him, Joe? Joe nods solemnly. Don't worry, I won't tell. Potter runs into the darkness, broken and afraid. Joe watches him disappear, smirking. He won't dare come back for the knife. The girl watches into Sam's again. New white coat and a trunk of grass. Moved away, the boar's eye then ago. Hack still combed in Massachusetts ain't kill you, Carn and Troy and Huck Finn, children high for the modern guys.
Two boys running through the moonlit lanes, breath burning, hearts pounding wild. Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, fleeing shadows they can't outrun, seeing monsters in every stump, hearing danger in every wind. They reach the old tannery at last, burst through the door, fall to the floor, gasping hard in the dusty dark. Huck, what's gonna happen? Tom whispers. If Dr. Robinson dies, somebody's getting hanged. Huck says, who'll tell? Not us. If Injun Joe ain't hanged, he'll kill us for sure. Tom nods, trembling. And anyway, Huck adds, Muff Potter's so drunk he never remembers nothing. Tom swallows hard, but Huck he doesn't know. Got knocked out, Huck shivers. Tom, we gotta keep quiet. Injun Joe would drown us like kittens. Then let's swear, Tom says. Oh, Tom Sawyer, gripping secrets in the dark. Huck Finn beside him with a shaking heart. Under a sagging roof by the tannery wall, they seal a vow no boy should make it all. Blood on their thumbs, names scratched in wood, swearing silence stronger than childhood. Tom Sawyer, caught in a storm, trying to do right in a world gone wrong. Not just hands, Huck says, we need something serious. We gotta write it down. Use blood. Tom loves the idea, finds a wooden shingle, scratches the oath in red chalk. Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer swear they'll keep quiet about this or drop dead and rot. They prick their thumbs with a needle, press blood to wood, bury it near the wall, a grave for their promise. A figure slips past a gap in the boards, but the boys don't see. Huck, does this mean never tell, ever? Ever, Tom, we'd die if we broke it? Tom nods solemnly. And then a long, low howl outside. The boys cling to each other. Huck, which one of us is it howling for? I don't know, look through the crack, you do it, Tom. No, Huck, I can't. Another howl freezes their bones. Tom peaks, voice trembling, it's a stray dog. Who's it looking at? Back turned to us. Relief melts over them, but only for a moment. A soft sound, Tom, hear that snoring. Where's it coming from? The other end. Tom's fear shifts to curiosity. Huck, there you go if I leave. What if it's Injun Joe's silence then? Let's try, Tom whispers. They creep forward, a stick snaps, a sleeper moves, moonlight sliding across his face. Muff Potter. The boys sigh with relief, tiptoe back, then the dog howls again, this time pointing straight at Muff Potter. Oh no, it's him. Huck shudders, Tom, they say a dog howled at Johnny Miller's house and someone died. Tom nods slowly, they say it don't miss. Oh, Tom Sawyer carrying a secret weight. Huck Finn trembling in the moon's cold light. Two young souls who saw the truth, but fear keeps justice bound tight. The blood oath buried in the dust of the floor, promise echoing forevermore. Tom Sawyer, haunted boy, trying to hold a heart that's torn. By the time Tom climbs through his window, morning's breath is rising pale. He thinks no one heard a thing, but Sid was awake, listening to every move. Tom sleeps late, comes down to a silent table, no scolding, only solemn faces avoiding his eyes. Aunt Polly pulls him aside, weeping softly. Oh, Tom, how can you break my heart so? One and own yourself. The hitch wasn't anyway then. Tom goes to Tsuli, 81, Judge's Corner, Smith, we're bound and word is to turn. Is this lost in bone, rebel, barked on softer, Elton, playboy? Nailed raps at soaring. Where's that? Your ass widow fed a hoop falls quietly away, and Tom Sawyer was his ear. A summer boy carrying too much side, own storm howled.
By noon, the whole village trembled. News flying faster than any telegraph line. A bloody knife found by the graveyard earth. Everyone saying Muff Potter's done this crime. Horsemen riding out in every direction. Sheriff swearing he'll be caught tonight. Tom joined joins the crowd with a pounding heart. Graveyard looming in the hot daylight. Poor fellow! Poor young fellow! Let this be a lesson to grave robbers all. And the minister whisper, it's judgment, while Tom shivers beneath it all. He spots Huck through the throng. They look away fast, praying no one saw. Tom Sawyer with a secret burning, Huck Finn pale as the summer bone, watching the law drag Muff Potter in, terrified, trembling, utterly alone. And Injun Joe stands calm and stone, telling lies so smooth and cold. Two boys shaking in the heavy heat, afraid of a truth that can't unfold. Potter stumbles through the parted crowd. Friends, I didn't do it, he cries in pain. Who's accusing you? Someone shouts. His eyes fall on Joe and hope drains. Sheriff holds up the bloody knife. Potter nearly falls where he stands. Oh, Joe, you promised, but Joe denies with steady hands. Tom and Huck wait for lightning, some sign the lie is heard above. But silence answers Injun Joe, a man untouched, feared, unloved. People whisper the wound bled again, but they look at Potter instead. Two boys flee from the thought Joe's made a deal with the devil, they said. Oh, Tom Sawyer twisting in the nighttime, talking blood and don't torment me in sleep. Sid listens close like a spying ghost, secrets Tom never meant to keep. And Polly softly blames bad dreams, but Tom feels the dread go deep. He binds his jaw with a bandage each day, hiding the truth too heavy to speak. Still he walks to the lonely jailhouse, a small brick box at the village edge, bringing food, tobacco, little comforts, each visit easing his guilty pledge. Muff Potter smiles, weak and grateful, never knowing the storm beneath. Tom Sawyer tries to stand brave, though fear steals every breath. Oh, Tom Sawyer living with the shadows, Huck Finn keeping far from crowds, Injun Joe roaming the village free, a devil walking under summer clouds. The truth weighs hard on two young hearts, bound by an oath they swore to keep. Tom Sawyer restless, haunted, losing innocence he can't retrieve. Tom Sawyer lost in lonely days. Becky Thatcher hasn't come to school. He tries to act proud, tries to forget, but his heart won't follow any rule. Nights he walks by her window, moonlight heavy on his restless mind. She's sick, they say, Tom's breath grows tight. What if she dies and leaves me behind? He quits his games, his pirate plans, lets his hoop and bat grow still. The summer feels colder than ever before, and Aunt Polly fears he's truly ill. Aunt Polly dives into her health magazines, new miracle cures every single week. Cold water baths at the break of dawn, wet sheets wrapped till Tom can't speak. Hot baskets, baths, oatmeal dinners, blister plasters, patent pills. Tom endures them all without a word, growing paler in spite of all her skills. Then comes painkiller, fiery as lightning. 1 teaspoon makes him jump a mile. Aunt Polly beams, it's working. Tom forces back a twisted smile. Oh, Tom Sawyer playing sick and clever, pouring medicine through the floorboard crack, finding mischief even in misery, with Aunt Polly watching his every act. But when the yellow cat Peter begs, Tom gives him a drop of the burning brew. The cat explodes and yawls and leaps, and chaos
what's wrong with that cat? Aunt Polly cries, shocked by the sight. Cats act like that when they're having fun. Tom says, trying not to die of delight. Aunt Polly spots the spoon under the bed. Her voice grows sharp with worry and doubt. Tom, why'd you treat that poor cat so? Tom sighs, I felt sorry for him, no doubt. Sorry, why? Well, he ain't got an aunt. If he had one, she'd burn him out herself. Aunt Polly softens, guilt in her eyes, thinking maybe she's been too tough for herself. I was only trying to help you, Tom, I know you were, he says with a grin. And I was helping Peter too, Aunt Polly. It did him good, same as me, I expect. Oh, go along, you don't need more medicine. Just try to be a good boy, yeah. Tom goes to school early each morning, waiting, watching, barely breathing. Every dress on the road makes his heart jump, but none of them are the one he's needing. Then one day, a frock at the gate, golden light through the morning air. Becky Thatcher. Tom's heart leaps high, he bursts into wild stunts everywhere. He shouts, he laughs, he tumbles around, steals a boy's cap, throws it on the roof, jumps over fences, flips on his hands, trying everything to show his proof. But Becky lifts her nose in the air, says loud enough for Tom to hear. Some people think they're so smart, always showing off year after year. Oh, Tom Sawyer burning red with shame, all his bravado turning pen is smoke. A brave boy crushed by a single glance, by the little words the first love spoke. He slips away from the schoolyard crowd, swallowing hurt he can't explain. Tom Sawyer, proud and fragile, learning the tender side of pain. Summer hums on, warm but heavy, as Tom walks slow with his wounded pride. A boy carrying too many feelings in a heart too young to hide.
Tom Sawyer walks down Meadow Lane, heart heavy as the noonday heat. School bell ringing far behind him, a sound he swears he'll never meet. No one wants me, no one loves me, he whispers as the tears run free. If they want me gone, I'll vanish, then they'll all be sorry for losing me. He meets Joe Harper on the roadside, looking just as lost and bruised. My, whipped me for nothing, Joe says, so I guess I ain't got much to lose. Two boys shaking hands in sorrow, swearing they'll never part again. Joe talks of caves and hermit living, but Tom says pirates don't hide from men. Oh, drift away down the Mississippi, boys with nothing but a wild heart plan. Running from the world that hurt them, becoming legends while they still can. Tom Sawyer, Joe and Huck Finn together, three shadows slipping into the night. Pirates of Jackson's Island forever, chasing freedom by firelight. Tom waits hidden in the bushes, ham and biscuits in a sack. Whistles once, he's answered softly, a voice calls, who goes there, step back. Tom Sawyer, the black avenger of the Spanish Main, he proudly cries, name yourselves, and through the darkness two whispered pirate names arise. Huck Finn, the red-handed, Joe Harper, the terror of the seas. They trade the secret password blood, the oath drifting on the midnight breeze. Huck's got a skillet and tobacco, Joe brings bacon for their feast. They steal a brand of fire like real thieves, laughing low so the night won't souls glowing in the fire's red gleam. Pirates with no school bells calling, living louder than they ever dreamed. No chores, no rules, no early mornings, just stars above and a river deep. Pirates of Jackson's Island forever, falling carefree into sleep. What do pirates do? Huck wonders. Oh, everything noble Tom begins. We take ships, find treasure, walk the plank, but we don't harm women, that's pirate sins. We wear bright coats and silver buckles. Joe nods, dreaming of shiny gold. Huck stares at his ragged trousers. Guess I ain't pirate looking, he says bold. You will be, Tom grins, just wait. Once we start raiding ships at sea, they talk until the fire grows low, hearts swelling with who they'll be. Huck drifts off first with his pipe, content as a king beneath the moon. Tom and Joe take longer, restless, guilt creeping in too soon. Maybe we shouldn't steal no more. Joe says not even pirates ought to do wrong. Tom nods, relieved to hear it, then sleep takes both before long. Three boys dreaming under willow shadows, the wide Mississippi singing low. Running from hurt, running toward wonder, where the only rule is go. Jackson's Island cradles them kindly, a secret the dawn won't tell. Tom Sawyer's crew of runaway pirates beginning adventure they know so well.
Tom Sawyer woke before the sunrise, blinking at the shimmering dew. Ashes from last night's fire whisper smoke, forest waking with a quiet hue. Joe Harper, Huck Finn snoring soft, river breeze drifting through the trees. Woodpecker tapping like a morning drum, answering birds on the gentle breeze. A little green worm climbs his leg, Tom grins, means I'll get new clothes. Ants haul spoils of battles lost, a ladybug lifts and goes. A dung beetle freezes at his touch, bird song rings from branch to branch. Blue jays watching, squirrels chattering, nature dancing its island dance. Oh, Jackson Island, wild and quiet, morning light on 3 runaway boys. Water cold, hearts bold, no grown-ups calling, just the river singing on its joys. No school bells, no scolding shadows, just barefoot laughter in the sand. Tom Sawyer, Huck and Joe, together lost in a pirate wonderland. They run to the shore and plunge right in, clothes tossed high on the riverbank. Rafts swept off by the current's pull, good they laugh, no going back. Huck finds a spring of icy water, leaf-made cups like pirate gear. Joe sliced bacon for breakfast, while Tom and Huck fish near. Soon fish sizzle with the bacon, smell drifting like a happy charm. Best food ever cooked, Joe boasts, a lion full beneath a shady arm. Huck smokes, the others envy, talking brave and grown-up talk. Then off they go to roam the island, climbing logs, following hawks. By afternoon they're warm and weary, cold ham eaten in the lazy shade. But something tugs at each small heart along, and they try to evade. Even Huck misses familiar corners, though he'll never admit it first. They're pirates, why? whispers sweep, a sound like thunder wrapped in pain. Another boom rolls slow and deep, echoing off the water again. What is it? Joe whispers, pale, a drowned man. Tom says low. Huck nods, they're firing cannons to make his body rise below. They watch the ferry full of mourners, smoke and sorrow drifting high. Then Tom's face lights with wild wonder. Boys, the drowned ones are you and I. They stand tall in their secret glory, three ghosts the village cannot find, heroes in their own imagination, leaving real life far behind. But when the dark folds round the island and dinner crackles on the fire, their pride turns quiet, soft, uneasy, loneliness threatened through desire. Joe whispers, maybe we should go home. Tom mocks him quick, too proud to bend. Huck sides with Tom and Joe retreats, not wanting to seem weak to a friend. Huck and Joe soon fall asleep, breathing deep in the fire's glow. Tom stays up watching over them, thinking thoughts they'll never know. He takes bark pieces from a sycamore, scratches messages in red keel lines. One he pockets, one he hides, and Joe's hat among small pirate finds. Then quietly he slips away, running fast across the sand. Moon above him, river whispering a secret mission, carefully planned. A morning, drifting smoke island, wind through bending pine. Three boys dreaming of pirate glory, lost between innocence and time.
Tom slips into the sandbar water, moonlight cold upon his skin, wading deep till the current grabs him, then he swims with a pirate's grin. Swept downstream more than he wanted, but he crawls up the muddy shore, checks the bark note in his pocket and heads through the woods once more. At 10 o'clock he finds the ferry resting quiet in the river's shade. He slips inside a waiting skiff, hiding low, barely breathing, afraid. The crack bell taps, the rope is loose, the boat rolls gently in the swell, and Tom feels proud of his mission, a secret he won't dare tell. Old Tom Sawyer, midnight runner, crossing waters wild and deep, carrying truth like burning ember through a village lost in sleep. Watching love and sorrow mingle, hearing mourning through the door. A boy who thought he wasn't wanted, learning he was loved far more. He swims ashore below the landing, sneaks through alleys dark and bare, climbs a fence behind Aunt Polly's, peeks inside to the candles' glare. There sits Sid and Mary waiting, and Joe Harper's mother too. Faces bowed with grieving stories of the boys they think they knew. Tom slips inside upon his knees, slides under the bed's low frame. Aunt Polly's voice breaks through the stillness, calling Tom by name. He wasn't bad, just wild at heart, the best boy ever born. And though he plagued me day and night, I miss him like the morn. Mrs. Harper cries for Joe, Sid remarks on better ways, and Polly snaps, not one word against my boy in these sad days. As Tom lies trembling in the shadows, hearing love he never guessed, he longs to leap out, beg forgiveness, but stays hidden like the rest. Oh, Tom Sawyer, hiding, crying, humbled by wishing he could wipe their sorrow, wishing he could calm their fears. Never knew his aunt was praying, never knew their hearts were sore. A boy who thought that he was worthless, finding he was treasured more. He listens as they speak of drowning, how the raft was found down river wide, how the Sunday funeral's coming if the bodies don't return with tide. Cold chills run through his heartbeat, they think we're gone forever now. He watches Aunt Polly's trembling hands and makes himself a silent vow. Mrs. Harper leaves in tears, Sid and Mary head to bed. Aunt Polly kneels and prays for Tom, each word a stone upon his head. He waits until her tears grow still, creeps out slowly, soft and light, leaves a scroll beside the candle, then takes it back into the night. He kisses her cheek so gently, flees before he loses nerve. Back to the ferry, steals the skiff, rows upstream with pirate verve. By dawn he's back at Jackson's Island, wet and weary from the trek. He hears Joe say, Tom's true blue, a pirate never turns his back. Huck says, things are ours at breakfast, which he is, comes Tom's proud call. The pirates cheer as Tom strides in, grand as any captain tall. They fry up bacon, fish the river, laughing at Tom's daring scheme. Three young pirates full of swagger, living bigger than any dream. Tom settles in a shady hollow, drifting off in the noonday grace. A boy between two different worlds, a pirate king with a tender play. Down on the sandbar at sunrise, we were hunting turtle eggs in the sand, digging deep with laughing voices, 50 white shells in every hand. Fried them up by firelight, best feast pirates ever had. Oh, we were kings of the island then, young, wild, barefoot and glad.
The river tripped us off our feet, rolling, tumbling, splashing about. Then we baked in the warm sand, laughing like we wore flesh-colored tights. Drew a circus ring and played three clowns in the golden island light.
Oh, Jackson Island morning, where the river hung low and white. We were pirates, bold by daylight, the lonely children inside, writing names in the drifting sand, trying not to let it show. Three wild boys with hungry hearts, missing a home they wouldn't go. We played marbles and ring toss till the joy ran out like the tide. Huck went swimming, Joe stared west, and I wrote Becky before I sighed. Scraped it out with my angry toe, but it came back all the same.
Funny how a little longing can outlast any pirate game. Joe said, boys, I can't this lonely life ain't fun to me. I teased him, called him cry baby, but I felt the same misery. Huck kept glancing toward the shoreline, and Joe began to pack his clothes.
I tried my hardest to look stubborn, but the sadness only rose. Oh, Jackson Island evening where the sunset stains the trees. Three boys trying hard to stay as bold as buccaneers on the seas. But home kept calling softly like a hymn we used to know, till I stopped my friends from leaving with a secret I could show. Wait, I cried, don't leave yet, I got a scheme worth more than gold. When they heard it they hollered loud, said Tom, that plan is bold. We danced around the firelight, forgot sorrow for a while. Three pirates dreaming big again with that old Sawyer smile.
Then we learned to smoke like grown-ups, puffing pipes with trembling pride. Said it was easy, bragged and chuckled, till the sickness rolled inside. We dropped our pipes and paled to feed, pretended supper made us ill, slept it off beneath the starlight, dead quiet, deathly still.
At midnight thunder found us, lightning split the sky in two. Rain came down like Judgment Day, the forest roared the whole night through. We crawled beneath the soaked up tent till the storm blew past the bar, and thank the Lord we hadn't camped under the fallen sycamore. By dawn we shook the homesick gloom, painted ourselves in mud and clay, declared we weren't pirates anymore, but Indians at war today. We smoked the peace pipe proud and grand, and handled it better this time around. And on that drifting river island, found our laughter safe and sound.
The town was quiet as a whisper, Saturday sun hung low and thin, and Polly's house was heavy, every harper drawn within. No kids running through the alleys, just the wind across the square. Becky walked the empty schoolyard, wishing Tom was standing there. She said, right here, he handed that brass knob into my hand. Oh, if I could take it back now, I'd unsay every word I can. Tears fell in the dusty doorway, dreams washed out like summer rain. She whispered, Tom, forgive me, knowing he won't come again. Oh, the church bell tolled that Sunday, slow and heavy, deep and low. All the village dressed in mourning, moving soft and walking slow. Gone too soon, they whispered sadly, hearts too wild to be restrained. No one knew the boys were watching, listening to their own names. Were full of neighbors, black crepe ribbons everywhere, and Polly trembling by the aisle, Mary crying into her hair. The minister spoke gently, all their mischief now seems kind. Every flaw we ever pointed was a treasure left behind. People sobbed at childhood stories, at the glimmers of their grace. Strangers wept for Tom and Joe, like saints who vanished from this place. And old Miss Thatcher bowed her head, Becky's tears fell in her lap, while up above behind the railing, three boys listened through a crack. I am the resurrection, said the preacher to the crowd, and right then the church door opened, swinging slow and creaking loud. Every face turned white with wonder, every grieving voice fell still. There stood Tom and Joe and Huck, walking proudly up the aisle. And Polly ran down crying, Mary hugged him till she shook. Mrs. Harper kissed her Joe till he gasped for breath he took. Poor Huck Finn stood by the doorway, trying hard to slip outside, till Tom said, Aunt Polly, take him, he ain't got no one on his side. And she She wrapped him in her arms, then bless your heart, you poor lost boy. Huck flushed red and nearly stumbled, overwhelmed by sudden joy. Then the preacher hollered loudly, raise your voices, praise the Lord. Old Hundred shook the rafters like 1,000 hearts restored. Every sorrow turned to singing, every loss to grateful light. Tom swore he'd never felt so mighty as he did that Sunday night. As the people left the chapel, they laughed, let's be fooled once more. If it means we'll hear that hymn again like we never have before. And Polly hugged him, scolded, loved him fierce through joy and fright. And Tom Sawyer, Sunday hero, drank it in with all his might.
Tom came home a hero after hearing his own farewell. Aunt Polly poured the coffee slow. Mary smiled but couldn't tell if she should scold him or embrace him, if she should laugh or if she'd cry. 'Cause he fooled the whole town breathless just to watch his funeral go by. Aunt Polly said, oh Tom Sawyer, you could have left a little sign. If you boys could sit and listen to the preacher read your last lines. You could have sent me word you're breathing, spared this heart a week of pain. Tom said softly, Auntie, I'm sorry, I'd do it different if again. But Aunt Polly, Tom whispered, I dreamed you by the candle flame, sit by the wood box waiting, Mary calling out my name. I dreamed the door blew open and you made sit, shut it tight. I heard you say I wasn't wicked, just a colt that needs some light. And Polly trembled crying, oh bless the Lord above. A dream like that's no dreaming, Tom, that's a sign of love. Tom told of Mrs. Harper weeping, of the firecracker scare, of Peter and the painkiller, of prayers rising in the air. And Polly held him to her apron, said, my boy, I forgive it all. If you kissed me in your dreaming, then no harm can be recalled. Sid muttered kind of easy when it happens in your sleep. And Polly snapped, you hush now, Tom's heart runs mighty deep. She slipped a warm red apple in his hand before the door. Go on to school, my children, praise God you're here once more. Tom walked like a Sunday general, sunburn shining like a crown. Little boys marched right behind him, proud to follow him through town. Older boys pretended not to see him, but they envied him inside. He'd lived a pirate story, come back from the river tide. Joe and Tom smoked their little pipes, parading tales they couldn't finish, feeling tall, untouchable, their fame too bright to diminish. But Becky Thatcher lingered, hoping Tom might turn his head. He talked with Amy Lawrence loudly, filling every word with lead. Becky laughed too brightly, stepping close, then turning cold. But Tom kept up his boasting, pretending he was bold. At recess he turned the dagger, flirting on for Becky's eyes. But she walked off with young Alfred, and Tom burned with jealous fire. Oh, the summer sun keeps shining on the games they play and break. Proud boys chasing glory, brave girls hiding every ache. Tom acts like he don't need her, Becky swears she'll never bend. But dreams don't lie and hearts don't either, this ain't anywhere near the end.
Oh, dreams don't lie and hearts don't either. This ain't anywhere near the end.
Tom walked home slow and heavy, dust on his shoes, guilt in his eyes. And Polly met him at the doorway, said, Tom, I've half a mind to tan your hide for fooling me, for letting me cry all night. I went to Serenity Harper's and learned the dream weren't right. Tom hung his head in sorrow, said, Auntie, I didn't think. I never meant to hurt you, I never meant to push you to the brink. I didn't come to laugh that night, I swear it on the river wind. I came to say, don't worry, we hadn't drowned, we weren't dead. But you spoke of Sunday funerals, and the plan took hold of me. I kept the truth inside my pocket, 'cause I wanted you to see. Oh, the boy who meant well, even when he couldn't say it right. Sometimes a lie can be a mercy, sometimes wrong feels almost right.
And Polly shook her head slow, said, child, you never think at all. You rode the river after midnight just to watch our teardrops fall.
You fooled me with that dream talk. Oh, Tom, how could you dare? Tom reached inside his jacket, said, Auntie, the note was there. I wrote you on a piece of bark, said we ain't dead, just turning pirate. I meant to lay it by the candle, the scheme shone too bright. And Auntie, when I saw you crying, I leaned and kissed your cheek. I wished you'd woken just a moment, so I could tell you everything. Oh, and Polly, I swear it's true, I kissed you 'cause I loved you so. You moaned in sleep and missed me, and it hurt me just to go. I'm sorry for the sorrow, sorry for the fear you knew. If I could turn back all my mischief, I'd bring a better boy to you. And the old house felt softer when she whispered through her tears, oh, Tom, that's a blessed lie, a lie the Lord himself forgives. Tom ran off toward the schoolyard, heart a little lighter now. And Polly watched him leaving, softness settling on her brow. She took the pirate jacket from a closet dark and deep, stood trembling with a question, a truth she feared to keep. Twice she reached into the pocket, twice her courage slipped away, then whispered, it's a good lie, and I'll believe it come what may. At last her hand went searching, found the folded bit of bark, and the words Tom wrote in secret split her aching heart apart. Oh, the boy who meant well, even when he didn't know how. A tender life kindness, Lord, it's honest anyhow. If he'd sinned a million sins, I'd forgive them all tonight. For a child's love speaks truer than the preacher's Sunday light. And Polly held the message, let the tears fall warm and free. Oh, Tom, my blessed trouble boy, you mean the whole wide world to me. Tom saw Becky by the gate, heart still warm from Aunt Polly's kiss. He ran to set things straight. I'm sorry, Becky, truly sorry, I won't be mean again. But she tossed her head and walked away. Don't speak to me, Tom Sawyer, not ever again. And oh, that cut him deeper than a teacher's hickory rod. But he swallowed down his pride and pain and wandered on to the schoolyard. Oh, the ways of boys and girls, they twist and turn and burn. A careless word, a jealous look, a lesson hard to learn. Two hearts full of stubborn fire, too angry now to see that trouble waits inside the room. For Becky and for Tom inevitably. Old Dobbins dreamed of doctoring, kept his secret book locked tight. But Becky found the key that day when no one else was inside. She opened to the picture, a figure bare and drawn. And just then Tom stepped in the door, a shadow on the page and all her courage gone. She slammed the book in panic and the page was torn clean through. Oh, Tom Sawyer, you're the meanest boy, you'll tell, I know you do. She ran outside in tears, calling him hateful as she fled. Tom muttered, girls are chicken-hearted, but you'll catch it soon instead. Oh, trouble's coming closer like thunder from afar. A little lie, a little tear can make a falling star. Becky trembled in her seat, knowing justice would be grim. Tom watched her pale with fear, and pity rose in spite of him. Old Dobbins opened up the desk, reached slowly for his prize, turned the pages, found the tear, cold anger in his eyes. The room fell into silence, thicker than a summer storm. No one speaks, then I'll ask each name until I find who tore my book and broke the norm. One by one the trembling answers, no sir, it wasn't me. Then Becky's name came rolling next, her face as white as creekside clay could be. Becky Thatcher, look at me. Did you tear this book, he said. Tom's heart leapt wild inside him, his pulse beat hammering in his head. There's a moment in a young boy's life when right outshines his pride, when all the wrongs he ever did fade like a river's tide. Tom stood up like lightning, voice shaking but loud. I tore it, sir, he cried, and the gasp ran through the crowd. Oh, noble Tom Sawyer, taking stripes that weren't your own, standing tall for Becky, though your heart felt all alone, a beating heart as any storm. 2 hours after 2, but the look inside her grateful eyes was worth it all to you. When school let out that evening, she whispered soft and low, oh, Tom, how could you be so noble? And he felt his whole world glow. Stars rose over the village, fireflies drifting through the air. And Tom fell asleep that night with revenge forgotten there. For a boy becomes a hero by the courage he can borrow, and love can bloom the sweetest in the shadow of tomorrow.
School was nearly over, summer knocking on the door, but old man Dobbins swung his rod harder than before. Little ones trembling, big boys scheming, all week long they plotted, whispering and dreaming. A wig on his head, a temper growing thin, vacation coming closer, but he made them pay till then. Oh, gather round, good folks, tonight. Lanterns glow and flowers bright. The children stand with shaky knees, trying hard their lines to please. But wait till the jokes take flight, there's mischief planned for exhibition night.
A tiny boy declared with pride, you'd scarce expect one of my age. A little girl lisped Mary's lamb, then curtsied on the stage. Tom stepped up bold as any hero, but fear stole all his breath. Give me liberty or give me, his voice fell still as death. He walked off red with shame, a weak applause behind, while other verses, poems, dreams all droned on in their kind. Oh, is this then life? They cried with lofty words and teary sighs. Friendship, dreamland, melancholy too. Big ideas no child ever knew. Ribbons tied with trembling hands, voices quivering soft and slight. I talk for hearts still learning life on exhibition night.
Mr. Dobbins took the stage to draw the map of all the states. His hand was tipsy, lines ran wild. The crowd began to whisper, smile. Up in the rafters, ropes were strung. A muffled meow, a plan begun. A cat came swinging from the beams, claws reaching out in frantic screams. Latched onto Dobbins' powdered wig and snatched it clean as a dancing jig.
Up it flew into the dark, while children gasped and moms remarked. And there beneath the missing rug, a shining gilded bald man's mug. The sign painter's boy had done his deed, painted gold for all to see. The crowd exploded, chairs let fly, laughter lifted to the sky. The master shouting, flailing arms, while boys slipped out to sweet alarms. Vacation bells were ringing bright, their vengeance paid in golden light. Oh, bless the summer coming on, books shut tight and worries gone. Barefoot days and rivers wide, fishing poles and countryside. Let the laughter echo on past Dobbins' gilded head that night. For every child remembers well the great examination night.
Tom Sawyer joined the temperance kids, just wanted that red sash shining bright. Promised he'd quit swearing, smoking, playing tough boy wrongs at night. But the more he tried to be holy, the worse the cravings grew. He quit the club before July with nothing noble left to prove. Judge Fraze lay sick and dying, Tom polished up his uniform. But the old man teased the grave, a week got better than fell, worse than warm. When they said the judge would recover, Tom quit the cadets for good. That very night the old man died, and Tom swore grown-ups never understood. Oh, the lazy days of summer, when the sun hangs low and long. But nothing's fun when your heart feels wrong and every game turns stale. Oh, the empty days of summer, when the world feels upside down.
Tom Sawyer walked those dusty streets, wherein the loneliest boys frown. He tried keeping a diary, 3 days and nothing to tell. A minstrel show sparked glory dreams that faded just as well. The 4th got rained on, parade canceled, the circus came and went. Tarpaulin tents and borrowed rugs, but all that wonder spent. A mesmerizer, a prophet's skull, strange tricks that thrilled the town. But when they left, the silence seemed to pull Tom deeper down. And Becky off in Constantinople, her bright laugh miles away. The secret of the murder gnawed his heart day after day. Oh, the town found sudden religion, every child with folded hands, Bible verses on every tongue and hymn books in their plans. But Tom felt cold and left behind, like the world turned overnight. No mischief sparked, no friendly grin, not even Huck seemed right. Then came the measles fever, 2 long weeks in a clouded room. When he rose again, the whole world changed, pious faces, holy gloom. And when a storm rolled in that evening, thunder shaking window panes, Tom thought heaven aimed at him, punishment for hidden stains. Lightning cracked like judgment, rain like a preacher's shout. Tom hid beneath his blanket, waiting for the lights to go out. But the storm passed on toward morning, left him shaken but alive. He swore he'd change tomorrow if another storm arrived. Then sickness claimed him once again, 3 more weeks stuck in bed. When he finally walked the town once more, no joy lit up his head, till he found Jim Hollis playing judge, a cat on trial for a bird. Then Joe and Huck behind a shed, sharing a stolen melon, no holy words. And in that dusty alley, Tom's lonely heart grew warm. The boys that slip back to themselves, as boys do after any storm. He felt the summer shift again, wild mischief in the air. The empty days were ending, for his old friends were still there. Oh, the empty days of summer, when the world feels strange and new, but a stolen melon and a laughing friend can bring your heart back through. Oh, the healing days of summer, where the old ways still survive. Tom Sawyer found his smile again, glad just to be alive.
All over town the whispers rose, a murder trial in bloom, and every word about that night felt like a shadow in Tom's room. He carried secrets in his chest, a fear he couldn't shake. Every footstep on the street made his guilty heartbeat ache. He found Huck down by the river, said, "Tell me true, old friend, have you told us so what happened, what we saw at the graveyard then?" Huck swore hard upon it, with our lives on the line. You know, if the half-breed devil finds us out, we won't last 2 days, Tom, no. So they swore again in the fading light, handshaking though they dared pretend. 2 boys bound by a midnight sight, a truth that could kill them in the end. Oh, the graveyard holds its secrets tight, but a guilty heart won't let you rest. Tom Sawyer walked the lonely night with a storm inside his chest. In stone his chest. They drifted near the jailhouse, hoping for some saving sign, but nothing came except the dark and the shiver down their spines. They passed tobacco through the bars. Old Muff looked tired and worn. Boys, you've been good to me, he said, even though my life's all torn. His grateful voice cut deeper than any rod or lash. He warned them not to drink like him, not to fall and burn to ash. Tom walked home heavy-hearted, nightmares clawing at his sleep. Every kindness from poor old Muff made his guilt cut twice as deep. Oh, the courthouse filled with talking, with a hammering truth of fear. The town cried out for justice, and the hangman's noose drew near. And Tom stood frozen in the crowd, his courage wearing thin. For every lie Injun Joe told was a nail driving deeper in. Morning broke with judgment, the courtroom packed and loud. Muff Potter chained and hopeless, the sentence all but vowed. The lawyer barely lifted a single hand to fight, till he whispered, "Call Tom Sawyer," and the whole room turned to ice. Tom trembled as he took the stand. The judge asked where he'd been. In the graveyard, sir, that night, Tom said with shaking chin. Hidden by Horse William's grave, he spoke the truth at last. And every heart leaned forward as the fear rose cold and fast. He told them what he'd witnessed, slow at first, then strong. The doctor shout, the lantern swing, the strike that proved them wrong. And when he named Injun Joe, the courtroom stopped its breath. You could feel the whole world tilting on the edge of life and death. Oh, then a crash of glass, Joe vanished like a shadow cut from flame. The people screamed and staggered back, calling out his name. Tom's voice still hung in the air, a truth he had to free. The day a boy found courage and a murderer broke free. Oh, the graveyard truth was spoken, and the devil fled the room. But Tom Sawyer's trembling bravery turned justice from its doom.
Sunrise found Tom Sawyer with a hero's crown of fame. Old folks blessing his brave heart, young kids whispering his name. The village paper praised him, said someday he'll do great things. A boy who stood for justice with the courage of a king. And Muff Potter, once forgotten, now was cherished everywhere. Hands that once pushed him aside reached out in sudden care. Tom felt proud in all the daylight, warm applause from every side. But when the evening shadows lengthened, something cold grew deep inside. He's a hero in the sunshine, but a trembling soul at night. Every creak across the floorboards feels like Joe's returning stride. In the day he saves a good man, in the dark he hides in fright. Oh, a boy can wear two faces, hero in the sun, shadow in the night. Huckleberry watched the alleys, never sleeping through the dark. Tom had talked before the trial, and Huck feared he'd leave a mark. The lawyer held their secret tight, but secrets strained and grown. If Tom once cracked beneath the guilt, what then for Huck alone? They wandered past the grateful Potter who blessed them every day. His smile a bittersweet reminder of the price truth makes you pay. Tom felt glad he'd spoken boldly, glad he'd set an innocent free. But in the night he wished for silence, for the grave of memory. He's a hero in the sunshine, but a trembling soul at night. Dreams of Injun Joe returning, eyes that burn with vengeful light. Crowds may cheer his name by morning, but the dust brings back the fright. Oh, a hero's heart can waver, strong beneath the sun, broken in the night. Words were posted on the fences, men searched forest, farms, and streams. A stranger came from St. Louis, claiming clues and secret schemes. But clues don't hang a murderer, and Joe slipped out of sight. A ghost that stalked the corners of Tom Sawyer's sleepless nights. And slowly like a sunrise through a storm-scarred heavy sky, Tom's fear began to loosen, though it never fully died. For he'd never feel quite peaceful, not until the day he'd know that the grave was closed forever on the name of Injun Joe. Hero in the sunshine, shadow in the night. Every boy who fights for justice learns the cost of doing right. Every boy has secret longings, dreams of gold beneath the ground. Tom woke up with fire burning, treasure waiting to be found. He searched the town for comrades, but the day was running thin, till he found old Huck by the fence side, and the hunt could now begin. Where we dig, said Huck with wonder, oh, anywhere thieves hide. Tom grinned and spoke of dead limb trees and ghosts who guard their pride. Maps left by forgotten robbers, marks lost in the creeping night. Gold that waits beneath the floorboards of a house that fears the light. Where the shadows fall at midnight, where the dead trees point the way, we'll dig down through roots and whispers till we strike the thieves' old pay. In the day the world feels harmless, but at night the woods grow deep. Still we chase the buried promise that no robber came to keep. What'll you buy with treasure, Huck? Tom asked with shining eyes. Pie and soda every morning, circus tickets every night. Tom dreamed of drums and bright red neckties, a bullpup at his side. Maybe even get married, he whispered with a grin he couldn't hide. Huck stared like Tom was crazy. Married folks just fight and shout, but Tom just waved the thought away, sure his girl would never pout. They dug beneath the silent hillside, half an hour, just stones and dirt. Moved from place to place in circles, hoping daylight hid the word. Where the shadows fall at midnight, we return to try once more. Map the limbs, long crooked finger crawling on the dusty floor. But the earth gave only gravel and the moon gave only doubt. Maybe midnight wasn't midnight when the robbers hid their stash out. Huck sighed low, let's try a haunt, a place where ghosts don't sleep. Tom said ghosts stay quiet daytime, that's the hour the brave ones seek. So they stared across the valley to a roof half fallen through, a haunted house wrapped up in moonlight, a place only legends knew. Where the shadows fall at midnight, where the floorboards creak and groan, boys go searching after stories that the grown-ups leave alone. Tomorrow waits with breath held tight, a haunted house in pale daylight. For treasure dreams will always pull two restless hearts into the night. Met Huck by the dead limb tree, tools hidden in the shade. Tom said, let's hit that haunted house. Huck froze and said, wait. Tom, do you know what day it is? And Tom's face turned to chalk. Friday, Huck whispered, trembling, ain't no day for a treasure walk. They talked to rats in dreamland, an omen sharp as knife. Said trouble prowls a Friday trail, best keep off that hillside. So Tom said, let's be Robin Hood, a noble thief who's kind. And all that golden afternoon they roam with carefree minds. Oh, the hills hold whispers and the boys hold dreams. Huck's a fickle drifter, and danger keeps its vows. You can play like merry outlaws, but beware the haunted house. By Saturday the courage rose, they dug their last old line. Said treasures lost by fools who quit just inches from the shine. Found nothing, so they wandered on toward that lonely place. A sagging roof, a busted stair, cobweb curtains coated in dust lace. They crept inside on tiptoes, no floor beneath their feet, just shadows stretching whisper thin across a room gone bleak. Up the stairs they dared each other, hearts pounding in their ears, till Tom hissed, "Hush, someone's coming," and Huck was salt white fear. Oh, the hills hold whispers and the boys hold dreams, in the warm Mark Twain country where the long grass leans. But the bravest heart turns hollow when footsteps scrape the ground, and secrets breathe like winter in a ruined, haunted town. Two men crossed through the doorway, one rough, one masked and gray. A deaf and dumb Spaniard they thought, but his voice gave truth away. For the blood ran cold as river stone when the whisper sliced the air. Injun Joe alive and plotting with a wicked burning stare. They watched him plan his vengeance, he and his ragged friend. He spoke of danger, buried loot, and a job he'd soon attend. Then silver coins came jingling from a hearthstone pulled aside. They unearthed a rusted treasure box, and the gold inside them shine. Oh, the hills hold whispers and the boys hold dreams, in the warm Mark Twain country where the long grass leans. But treasure rings like thunder and trouble like a vow. Some riches ain't for children, not in that haunted house. The men drifted into slumber, the sun sank low and red. Tom wished to run for freedom, but the floor creaked loud instead. They lay still as the graveyard dust, the longest hour they'd known, till Injun Joe rose snarling, speaking vengeance to the stone. And the boys crawled out at twilight, hearts racing like a mouse, two shadows slipping silently away from the haunted house. Tom woke with his heart still racing, chasing gold that slipped away. 4 times in the haunted darkness, 4 times it turned to clay. He found Huck by the river landing, feet drifting in the flow. Tom, if we'd left them tools last night, we'd have caught that rich shadow. Tom breathed out like a morning breeze, so it wasn't just a dream. Huck said that patch-eyed devil chased me through every midnight scene. They whispered of steps on broken stairs, of treasure lost from view, and of tracking down a villain's trail straight to number 2. Oh, the fear runs cold, but the hope runs true. full of courage and a half-healed brew. They're gonna chase that shadow to number 2. What's number 2? Huck muttered. Tom, it's just too deep. Well, maybe it's a house, Tom said. But towns like ours don't keep any numbers on their doorways. Huck sighed, that ain't the key. Then Tom's eyes lit like sunrise. A tavern room, that's what it'll be. There were only 2 in the village and 1 room filled with light. A lawyer lived in the nicer one, so that clue wasn't right. But the shabby tavern's number 2 stayed locked the whole day through. A lantern glow at midnight. Yeah, Huck, that's our number 2. Oh, the fear runs cold, but the hope runs true. Through a Mississippi summer with the wild boys too. With a pocket full of courage and a half-healed brew. They're gonna chase that shadow to number 2. Tonight, said Tom, we gather keys, every kind we can get hold. We watch the alley door out back where the tavern bricks get old. And Huck, if you see Injun Joe, you shadow him through town. If he walks toward number 2 tonight, we'll know where the gold's bound down. Huck trembled like a willow leaf. I don't wanna track him lone. Tom said in the dark he'll never see, and maybe he won't roam for revenge no more, but for money. Huck breathed deep and swore, I'll follow him by jingles. I ain't weakening no more. Oh, the fear runs cold, but the hope runs true. Through a Mississippi summer with the wild boys too. With a rusty ring of keys and a plan they'll pursue. They're gonna stake their courage on number 2. The morning felt less hopeless, with a secret yet to chase. 2 barefoot hunters of treasure in a dangerous kind of race. No grown man knew their burden, no grown heart understood. But 2 boys swore their oath again. In the dark, as only brothers could. Thunder far on the river bend, dark clouds rolling slow. Tom with Aunt Polly's lantern, Huck whispering we'd better go. 4 long nights of waiting, no Spaniard passing through. Then Thursday wrapped in pitch black, storm rumbling in the blue. Tom lit that hidden lantern, wrapped it tight in a rag. Huck kept guard in the shadows, heart pounding like a flag. The alley felt like a coffin, time heavy as a stone, till Tom came bursting screaming, Huck, run, we ain't alone. Oh, the night was deep and the fear ran through.
from number 2, with the lightning cracking in the midnight hue. They swore they'd haunt the shadows till the truth shone through. They hid in an old shed shaking as the sky split open wide. When Tom finally caught his breathing, he spoke with trembling pride. I tried them keys so careful, they rattled loud as doom. Then I grabbed the knob without thinking, and Huck, the door just moved. I stepped inside that darkness, pulled a towel from the light, and nearly stepped on Injun Joe, lying drunk as death that night. His patched eye closed and twitching, his arms all spread out wide. A bottle and tin cup glimmered by his shadow at his side. Oh, the night was deep and the fear ran through. Boys running wild from number 2, with the thunder moaning like a ghost they knew. They swore they'd watch forever till the truth shone through. Tom said, Huck, that room ain't haunted by spirits, chains, or screams. It's haunted by whiskey barrels and a drunk man's broken dreams. Huck swallowed hard and trembled. Tom, he's drunk, let's take the box. Tom said, not with one lone bottle. That devil wakes like a fox. So they talked of safer chances, of watching every night. When Injun Joe leaves that doorway, they'd slip in without a fright. We'll gather keys and patience till the right hour comes, Tom swore. Huck said, I'll haunt that tavern all night, forevermore. Oh, the night was deep, but their hopes stayed true. 2 boys plotting fate round number 2, with a promise whispered in the storm's last dew. They'd chase that hidden treasure till the dark was through. Huck told Tom of haylofts and kind old Uncle Jake, of water tubs for payment and whatever food he'd take. Don't tell folks where I'm sleeping, a boy does what he must do. Tom said, just meow in the dooryard. When the shadows call you, and the storm rolled off the river as the dawn crept faint and new. 2 boys with one dark secret, and the trail to number 2.
Sun rose soft on a Friday morn. Tom Sawyer woke with a grin. Judge Thatcher's wagon rattled in late, and Becky was home again. They played hispy in the schoolyard dust, gully keeper till the bell, laughing like the world was bright with a secret neither tell. By sundown came the whispers, the picnic's on at last. Candles packed and baskets filled, kids running wild and fast. Tom stayed out near midnight, listening for Huck's soft call. But the river whine stayed silent, no meow came at all. Oh, the river ran wide, and the daylight spilled gold, with the cave lights dancing where the brave hearts roam. But another path waited in the dark and still, where Huck faced shadows up on Cardiff Hill. Ooh. Next morning the ferry drifted 3 miles down the stream. The children leapt in the sunlight, living out their summer dream. Cold stone breath of the cave mouth swallowed every flame. Candles bobbing through the darkness, every corridor a game. Tom led them past the echoes, through winding, laughing turns. But he kept one eye on nightfall, on the lantern Huck might burn. At dusk they left the caverns, and the fairy lights slid home, while Huck watched from the shadows, standing guard all alone. Oh, the river ran wide, and the daylight spilled gold, with the cave lights dancing where the brave hearts roam. But another path waited up the midnight hill, where Huck faced danger, quiet, cold, and real. Huck heard soft footsteps, 2 figures in the black. One of them carried something heavy as they climbed the river track. He followed slow and breathless through brush and briars still, till Injun Joe's voice cut the dark, chilling Huck with fear. Widow Douglas pays tonight, Joe whispered with a hate. For what her husband did to me, I'll settle that old debt. Huck trembled like a leaf, but he knew what he must do. Turned and ran through the shadows, heart pounding straight and true. Oh, the river ran wide, and the winds turned shrill, as Huck came flying down old Cardiff Hill. Pounded on the Welshman's door, help before it's too late, and rifles climb the darkness to meet the devil's fate. Huck hid behind the timber as the hillside held its breath. Then thunder cracked from rifles, a cry cut through the depth. He didn't wait to see the ending, just ran with all his will. A barefoot boy who saved a life on that night on Cardiff Hill. Sunday broke soft over Cardiff Hill, and Huck came knocking low. Please let me in, he whispered then, it's only Huck Finn, you know. The Welshman answered kindly, boy, this door's yours anytime. strangest words Huck ever heard, warm as early morning shine. They fed him at the table, asked how the night had run. He told of pistols flashing and how he turned and run. "They're gone," the Welshman muttered, "nobody's in the dell. But we chased 'em through the timber when my sneeze blew our ambush all to hell." And the bells rang out at sunrise while the whole town held its breath. 2 children lost in McDougal's cave and devils loose in the west. Hope flickered in the darkness like a candle in the clay. Oh Lord, guide the weary lanterns, searching night and day. The Welshman asked him gently, "What did those rascals wear?" Huck stammered, dodged and stumbled, caught in his own snare, till the truth came flooding outward, voice barely above a blow. "It ain't no Spaniard wandering, that man is Injun Joe." The Welshman straightened sharply, said, "Now the tale rings true. A white man don't notch ears or do what he aimed to do." Huck trembled for the secret, he begged, "Don't let it spread." The old man nodded solemn, "I'll guard your name instead." And the bells rang out at sunrise while the whole town held its breath. 2 children lost in McDougal's cave and devils loose in the west. Hope flickered in the darkness like a candle in the clay. Oh Lord, guide the weary lanterns, searching night and day. Visitors climb the hillside, Widow Douglas among the first, thanking the Welshman's kindness, never knowing Huck reversed a cruel and bloody vengeance by running through the night. A barefoot boy with terror standing up for what was right. Down in the silent village, church bells hardly died when folks began to whisper, "Where's Tom, where's Becky hide?" Their mothers' faces whitened, their voices lost their sound, and soon 200 lanterns lit the woods and caverns round. Oh, the river boats were launched and the riders spurred away. No laughter left in the valley where the children used to play. Hope flickered in the darkness like a candle in the clay. Oh Lord, guide the weary lanterns, searching night and day. 3 long nights of hollering in shadowed twists of stone, they found a ribbon, found a name, but never found the young one's moans. The women cried with Aunt Polly, Judge Thatcher's heart near broke, and every light within the cave died down in dust and smoke. Huck fevered in the Welshman's bed, the widow held his hand. "I'll care for him," she whispered, "for he is the Lord's own brand." But Huck could only murmur, "Did Tom find number 2?" The widow wept in silence, "Child, we're praying to find him too." And the copper bells kept ringing as the Sunday faded gray. 2 children lost in darkness while the town knelt down to pray. Hope flickered in the shadows, though faith began to sway. But the Lord heard every whisper, searching night and day. Down the limestone halls they wandered, with their candles burning small, through the drawing room and the palace bright, past the name smoked on the wall. Tom laughed soft, let's wander farther. Becky followed with a smile, never knowing those familiar signs faded after just 1 mile. They found the little waterfall and stone lace frozen in the spray. Tom slipped behind its curtain thin, marked their path in smoky gray. Downward deeper still they drifted, past the crystals cold and clear, till the cave grew strange around them and no friendly names appeared. Oh, the lanterns flickered faintly and the silence pressed like stone. Two small children in the darkness, far from light and far from home. Hold on to me, Tom whispered, though his voice began to shake. In McDougal's lonely cavern where no morning ever breaks.
1,000 bats came storming when their candles touched the air. One struck Becky's flame to darkness, sent 'em running in despair. Through the twisting haunted chambers, till the lake shone ghostly wide. There they heard their hearts beat louder than the waters at their side.
Becky trembled, Tom, I'm frightened, I ain't heard the other sound. Tom said softly, they're far upward, but we'll find the higher ground. Still they walk through stranger corridors, every turn a thread gone wrong, till Tom's alright grew hollow like a far-off dying song. Oh, the lanterns flickered faintly and the echoes laughed them down. Two lost voices calling, calling, but no answer could be found. Becky clung to Tom in darkness as the dread began to swell. In McDougal's aching silence, where the lost have none to tell.
Becky cried, let's go back, Tommy. Please don't shout no more that way. But Tom tried one hopeful holler, only ghosts came back to play.
Then he whispered, Becky, darling, I was foolish, now we're lost. And she wept for leaving others, feelings cold as winter frost.
They wandered till her footsteps faltered, till she sank upon the stone. Talked of home and Sunday dresses, till her fear was overthrown.
Becky slept with quiet breathing, Tom kept watch with aching heart. For her peaceful face in lamplight made the dark a gentler part. Oh, the candle burned to nothing, and the dark came rolling in. They shared the last of picnic sweet, felt the hunger bite their skin. At the spring they made their refuge, where the blackness pressed like waves. Two small souls with one faint lantern, lost in winding endless caves.
love, I'll keep on searching, Tom said soft and kissed her hair. I'll come back, don't you be frightened, I won't leave you lying there.
With a kite line round his fingers, he crawled down a narrow seam, heartbeat thudding in the darkness like the drum of some bad dream.
Through the cold, unfriendly tunnels, past the drop no child could brave, Tom went forward into shadows with no promise but the cave.
And the spring sang low behind him like a lullaby grown weak, as the Tuesday hours gathered on Becky's tired cheek. Still the lantern's ghost kept glimmering, and in the silence none could save two lost children praying softly in McDougal's endless cave. Tuesday sun sank down in sorrow, St. Petersburg was still as stone. Every prayer from every doorstep rose for children lost and gone. Mrs. Thatcher whispered Becky till her voice grew thin and frail. Auntie Polly's hair turned silver, grief blew cold as winter hail. No more torches in the lowlands, no more shouting in the deep, just a town with hollow doorways where no heart dared hope to sleep. But oh, midnight bells came crying like a storm of joy untamed. Turn out, they're found now. Through the dark, the shouting flame. Tin pans clattered, horns were ringing, people pouring from their rooms, and along the moonlit river rolled a carriage breaking gloom. Lantern light danced down the main street, faces shining, tears like rain. Children lifted, kissed, and carried, sorrow washed away in flames. Through the judge's crowded doorway, blessings rose in every breath, for the little ones were living, pulled like angels back from death. Tom lay speaking on the sofa, all the town pressed in to hear how the tunnels wound forever, how he swallowed down his fear. Till he saw a distant glimmer, like the morning's first faint ray, crawl through rock and coal-born silence toward a piece of living day. Found the river wide and shining, ran to Becky pale and worn, and they wept beside the sunlight, children newly gently born. 3 long nights had starved their bodies, left their spirits bruised and sore. Wednesday, Thursday passed in silence, hunger haunting every pore. Tom rose Friday, good as living. Becky Sunday braved the light, but poor Huck lay ghostly fevered through the long unbroken night. Tom kept vigil at the doorway, Widow Douglas standing guard, and he heard of drowned men's shadows from the river 2 weeks later, Tom went walking up the judge's maple lane. Stopped to visit pale young Becky, stayed to talk though hearts were strained. Someone laughed, "You'd like the caverns? Would you dare go back inside?" Tom said, "Sure, I reckon maybe," with a careless, easy pride. Then the judge said, calm and certain, "Boy, you needn't fret no more. I have sealed McDougal's cavern, iron bolts on every door." And the color left Tom's face then, like the moon behind a cloud. Voices faded, lamps went distant, every heartbeat thumped too loud. "Oh, Judge Thatcher, sir, I'm telling, hear me now and hear me brave. Injun Joe is locked inside there, still alive within that cave." Silence fell across the parlor like the closing of a tomb. And the river kept on whispering through the heavy summer gloom.
By the time the word was spoken, boats were cutting through the spray. Judge Thatcher, pale beside young Tom, led the townsmen toward the cave. When the iron door swung open, all the lanterns breathed a sigh. There lay Joe against the limestone, starred beneath a strip of sky. His hands stretched out for daylight, like a prisoner begging dawn. Bowie knife worn down and broken, all his strength and fury gone. Oh, the river keeps on rolling, but a darker river froze in the hearts of boys who'd seen him in that doorway cold and close. Tom felt pity like a shadow, yet a freedom like a flame. For the fear he'd carried nightly lost the power to speak his name. He had eaten candle ends for hunger, caught the bats that crossed his head, left their claws upon the cavern like the tally of the dead. Found a slow cold drop of water falling once in 3 long beats, broke a stone to make a basin for that ancient drip to meet. And they say that stalagmite basin where the lonely water fell holds more whispers from the darkness than the guides would ever tell. Oh, the people came in wagons, brought their children, brought their bread to the grave beside the cavern where they laid the outlaw dead. Some had signed to beg his pardon, some had wept to let him go, yet they nearly had a picnic for the burying of Joe. Morning rose on Widow Douglas, Welshmen's tales and grateful hands. Huck lay fevered in his blanket, still afraid of vengeance plans. Tom slipped in and whispered softly, "Huck, there's something more to say. No, the gold ain't in the tavern, it was never there today." Huck sat straight, his heartbeat leaping. "Tom, you tell me true this time." Tom said in the cave he hid it, past the spring and through the grind. packed their bread and matches, kite line, shovel, pocket knife. Took a skiff along the river toward the hole that spared Tom's life. In the summit, Tom revealed its secret doorway in the stone. "I'll use this," he said with wonder, "when we're robbers full and grown." Through the dark they crept like whispers, till the spring's still water shone. And beneath the smoky cross mark lay the trail Joe walked alone. Oh, they found the prints of candles, found the grease upon the wall, found the rock that hid the treasure, and a chasm just as small. Pulled the box through clay and shadow, silver spilling like a flood. Guns and trinkets, outlaw memories, buried deep in bone-cold mud. Now the sun was sinking crimson as they rode with hearts set free, with the gold of Injun Joe and a story for eternity. By the time they reached the Welshman's, voices whispered, "Hurry, boys." Widow Douglas waited, shining through a house of light and noise. And the clay-stained cave-worn children, Tom and Huck with secret eyes, stood on threshold, timber trembling, where their fates would crystallize.
Huck whispered, "Tom, I'm slipping out. This crowd ain't meant for me. Give me a rope and I'll take the night and be gone before they see." But Tom said, "No, you stick with me. I'll guard you like a friend." Then Sid came smirking up the stair with trouble on the wind. He said, "Aunt Polly's fretting and Mary's pressed you close, and Huck's big secret's out tonight, everybody knows." Tom grabbed him by the collar, said, "You tattling little snake. If Huck had done the things you would, he'd never make them wake." Oh, the lamps were burning golden and the table sagged with pies, with the widow's sweet Thanksgiving bringing teardrops to her eyes. All the village gathered smiling, all the gossip hushed and cold, till Tom burst in the doorway with 2 great sacks of gold. Old Joan stood proud and trembling, raised his glass up to the light. "Here's to the lad that saved the widow from a wicked fate that night. It's Huck who tracked the footprints, Huck who braved the darkened hill." The room broke out in cheering, but Huck just stared so still. The widow took his rough young hand, "My boy, this home is yours. I'll teach you, clothe you, shelter you, and open all the doors." Huck's eyes were wide with wonder, like a stray dog shown a fire. Then Tom stood up and shouted, "Why, Huck's got money higher." Oh, the lamps were burning golden and the children craned to see, as Tom ran out the entryway and came back heavily. He spilled the coins like sunshine, let the whole world behold. A mountain bright and shining, 12,000 coins of gold. Then Tom told how they found it in the caverns cold and deep, of cross-marked stones and outlaw bones where shadows never sleep, of Joe's last trove of silver hidden long beneath the clay, and Huck who faced the terror
to bring the truth today. Oh, the fiddle started ringing and the story spread like fire. Two ragged boys made wealthy by their courage and desire. And the widow whispered softly, with this fortune bless their souls. On a summer night in St. Petersburg, two children found their roles. Two wanderers, two runaways, two sacks of outlaw gold. Gold spilled out on a summer night, and the village lost its mind. Every porch light buzzed with talk, boys struck luck no man could find. They searched the haunted houses, turned the pastures upside down, while Tom and Huck walked Main Street like kings without a crown. Papers wrote their stories, called them fearless, bold, and wise. And every nod they offered seemed to sparkle folks' eyes. Oh, the river keeps on rolling and the seasons never fail. But gold can change a quiet town and boys upon the trail. Two pockets full of promise, two names that people hail. Yet childhood starts to slip away at the end of the boyhood trail. The widow took old Huck in hand, said his fortune's safe to grow, with rules and polished manners and a bed as white as snow. But Huck felt like a prisoner in a fine and tidy cell, where grace before his supper was the hardest kind of hell. He ran back to the shadows where the night wind answered free, till Tom found him in a hogshed, hiding scared as he could be. Tom said, come try it over, stick 'em up and don't you flail. You'll join my band of robbers soon at the end of the boyhood trail. Oh, the river keeps on rolling and the lantern moon is pale, but boys still whisper oaths and blood behind the old sawmill rail. With dreams of outlaw kingdoms no sheriff could curtail, they seal their plans in candle smoke at the end of the boyhood trail. Judge Thatcher dreamed of uniforms and courts where justice stands, said Tom might be a soldier or the finest in the land. And Becky, flushed with pride, told Tom what her daddy said, while Tom just grinned and wondered where adventure's compass led. The tale stops where it ought to, for a boy is all this story claims. Beyond this bend lie grown-up roads and men with grown-up names. The town still hums its ordinary life, the children laugh and sail, but time keeps moving onward down the long Missouri Vale. Oh, the river keeps on rolling past the whitewashed fences pale, and someday we might meet again to follow their next trail. But let the future stay unwritten, let the morning guard the tale, for boyhood ends in summer light at the end of the boyhood trail.